Man's tools get stuck in socket wrench. Not really sure how people in the UK use socket wrenches, but this tool actually got his nuts and bolts stuck in one. This do-it-yourselfer from Newport, Wales, really did it to himself. Once he and his tool became attached, the tool started to get a bit too clingy, so the handyman was forced to call 911. After emergency crews arrived, they went to work freeing the man's tools from his little boxes. Firefighters even sent out a warning on Twitter afterwards. Naturally, Twitter responded the way you would expect Twitter to respond. Stuck? Keep watching.
Man trapped in ATM gets withdrawn by cops. A Texas contractor found himself held captive by a cash machine and had to go old school to get out. The worker was changing the locks for the ATM vestibule when he was locked in because he left his swipe card in the truck. Poor fella also left his phone, so he couldn't call for help. But the ATM was working just fine, and what he did have was a pen and paper. He resorted to slipping notes through the receipt slot, begging people to please help. I'm stuck in here and I don't have my phone. Please call my boss. Unfortunately for him, everyone who got the note thought it was a bizarre joke, and the poor man was stuck for 2 hours until someone took it seriously enough to call the cops. Even the cops didn't think it was for real, even after they heard a little voice coming from the machine. Still, they eventually came to the man's rescue, kicking down the door to finally get him out. Now there's a man who's never been so happy to get away from a cash machine. Crazy!
Roller coaster riders left hanging high. Visitors to a theme park in England got an unwanted thrill when a roller coaster stopped in midair. Witnesses said terrified passengers screamed and cried when the Galactica ride came to a halt. The virtual reality Galactica roller coaster at Alton Towers opened in March. Passengers are strapped into the ride horizontally so they face the ground. They then wear a VR headset which gives the impression they're traveling through outer space. 28 people were on board the ride on Monday afternoon when it ground to a halt. Alton Towers confirmed the ride stopped for 30 minutes after heavy rain blocked a sensor. The park said the stoppage was automatic and a standard safety feature. Galactica restarted after half an hour and the passengers were brought down safely. The ride reopened later that day after a safety check. Indonesian man survives 2-hour flight hidden inside wheel well. An Indonesian man who snuck into a plane's wheel well compartment survived a 2-hour domestic flight on Tuesday. Reports said Mario Stefan Ambarita, a 21-year-old Indonesian man, had been observing flights at Sultan Syarif Kasam II Airport in Riau province for 10 days. He also researched online ways to stow away. Ambarita went unnoticed as he climbed into the wheel well of a Garuda Indonesia passenger plane. Garuda Indonesia Flight 177 took off at around 1:30 p.m., bound for Jakarta, a roughly 2-hour flight. Temperatures drop below freezing when an aircraft descends to about 4,800 meters. The maximum cruising altitude of Garuda Indonesia Flight 177 exceeded 10,600 meters. Ambarita emerged from the plane and wobbled onto the tarmac. Quoting his relatives, the Indonesian airline said Ambarita had been dreaming to go to the capital.
Follow us down the rabbit hole. Visit the TomoNews.net website or download the app today.
You had one job. Bleep. A delivery man should deliver stuff, not trap you in your own apartment and require you to be delivered. Over the weekend, a UPS delivery person unintentionally made a California man a prisoner inside his own apartment when a package boxed him in. After discovering that he was unable to turn his door handle from the inside, Jesse Lawrence called his apartment's maintenance guy to help. Lawrence then realized that his door handle had been jammed by a package left by a UPS guy, who'd left it inconveniently right under the outside door handle, rendering it unable to turn. Lawrence later recreated the setup and tweeted a photo of it to UPS. Thanks to the power of Twitter, the tweet was quickly shared tens of thousands of times. Although the post has since been deleted, there's still plenty of screenshots floating around the interwebs. The tweet set off a series of responses, with people sharing their own bizarre delivery experiences. Some debated whether the image was fake, theorizing that the door could have still been opened even with the package stuck under the handle, as the door opens inward. Others were simply curious about what's inside the large box. UPS customer support whipped up a typo-filled apology to Lawrence via their Twitter account. But do you think an apology is enough? Maybe Lawrence should switch to something else. Say DHL or FedEx? Wilson!